Can you hear something now? Hi, Kellyanne. Good morning. Good morning, Melody. Hi, Dixie. Still no sound. Hmm. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. You can hear me now. All right. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I can't get my camera to fill up the whole screen. It may be a very short live. But I want to say hello to all of you. Hello to the replayers. It's been not a big crafting week. I was talking to Lori and I said, I have not crafted, I don't think, all week. And she asked, when do you get your brain checked again? And I said, not until the mid-April. And she said, because you did a live, so you have crafted this week. Oh, so yes, it's a brain foggy weekend. My husband gets so frustrated because I get defensive. He doesn't know if when I forget something, if it's a normal forget or if it's a brain fog or a I don't know what's going on forget. And it really frustrates him. And I know many of you know what that's like. It's hard to be the one, as you know, who forgets and stuff. But I'm beginning to think it's hard to be the family member. I know. But last week is a fog. I couldn't tell you much at all that happened last week, Kelly. And that's kind of scary. Um, as many of you already know, after going through the coma and all of that, my brain just isn't working like it's supposed to. And I get very frustrated. But anyway, moving right along, I was watching Janet, and you know I'm a big Janet fan. Janet Nash flipping through one of her journals. And I saw the page where different people had shouted out mindless words, relaxing words and stuff. And I remembered this journal I made to one of her suggestions on a live. It was less than a year ago. That's all I can tell you. And I thought, well, let's get that little thing out. I had copied the list of words. I stopped her channel, paused it, so I could write all those words down. Yeah, I know. Damn, you only know this version. I'm so sorry. So, anyway, I created this little journal out of a box, I think. And in it, I put some quotes but I put letters in it. And I thought, this might be something some of you might enjoy. So, what it is it's an alphabet book. But it's an alphabet book with I want all messages, sorry. Of words of encouragement. So like I have being amazing, adventure, attention. And what's in blue is what I've just added. Life itself is a privilege, but to live life to the fullest, well, that's a choice. Remember, some things have to end better for better things to begin. A true friend accepts who you are, but also helps you become who you should be. Let your inner child come out to play, and then we get to be. And I have beauty, believe, breathe, blessed. You are never as broken as you think you are. And then I come to see. And I had forgotten all about this little journal. Create, curiosity, cherish, courage, creativity. You can only deal with the now and with one day at a time. And then I came to D. And I have like little pockets and some little things. And then E, enjoy, easy, empathy, enough. F, family, friendship, faith. Oh, speaking of family, those of you with kids, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, whatever, can very much relate to this. Emerson and I have always had a very close connection since she was a tiny little thing and only wanted mommy and daddy, but Nana could usually cajole her if I needed to stay with me. Well, Jackson and Emerson FaceTimed Sunday morning. And mainly Jackson wanted to FaceTime Papa. Well, then later that day, Nikki had said Emerson was struggling with understanding 2-digit numbers and comparing them, like 48 is less than 52 type thing. Would I come up with some kind of lesson to help her? Well, Nana did need to come up with a lesson. Nana's taught it many a times. So I was just laying down reading a book, and Emerson called FaceTime, and she only FaceTimes. She has an old phone that can only FaceTime. So, and there's only so many people she can FaceTime. And she said, Nana, I have my paper. I said, are you ready to do some math? And she said, yes, I need to understand this. Well, when Emerson talks, those of you that have seen Emerson on videos, she can sometimes sound like a little old lady. And she hates not to understand something at school. And so we started. It was so fun when all of a sudden the light bulb came on and she said, now I get it. And then she had it. Well, she wasn't about to let Nana go. And so she wanted to read stories. Well, Jackson doesn't care if he ever reads another word again. Emerson has taken this reading and run off with it. You know how kids are so different. That child read me 10 books, and she's an excellent little reader. And that's not Nana saying it. For a first grader, she's a very good reader. I really think before the end of the school year, she'll be reading chapter books. I mean, the easy chapter books, but she was reading words just as fluent as could be that I was shocked that she knew. And Nana listened to every book. Well, I needed hot tea or something. And so I took her into the kitchen with me. And she said, how come Papa's not listening to me? She said, where is Papa? And I said, well, he's watching a movie. So as I passed him, I handed him the phone. She said, Papa, you need to listen to me read too. He goes, well, I'm watching a movie. And she said, Papa, you need to listen to me. So she read to him for a while. And if she comes to work, she doesn't know. She just spells it out, and you're to tell her what the word is. Well, he had trouble catching all that. So she went back to reading to me. And finally, after 10 books, and these were just regular picture books, these weren't those, little decodables that take a second. Finally, it'd probably been an hour, hour and a half we'd been on there. I said, Emerson, I said, Nana's tired. She wants to go back to her book. How about if we just read one more? Well, we read one more. And she said, but Nana, I'm not done reading. And I said, well, you read to your dolls or bears or whatever, but Nana needs to go. No, Nana. Well, it wasn't that she wanted to read to Nana as much as she was liking that 100% one-on-one attention from Nana, because she's kind of going through withdrawals now. Finally, she let me go, and we moved on with our days. I said, you can call me tomorrow and read. Well, she didn't get to call because she and Jackson had to go with Daddy to burn brush. And when you're with Daddy, you work. Well, she works with her mama too, but so she was the one driving the four-wheeler from spot to spot and taking stuff to them and watching from afar. Jackson's right in there. He's the fire starter. He's 10, and he's the one that starts the fires. And he's there's not much Andy does that Jackson doesn't do right there with him. And Emerson, I know, was thinking I could be reading to Nana, but she did just fine with her daddy and all that. But it was funny. Yes, Gail, Jackson starts the fires. Just about died when he told me that. Good morning, Gail. He's the one that walks ahead of them with the fire starter. My son and a friend of his on the side. Andy is trained for this. He's even done trainings for it. Do timber control. Good morning, Janet. And to do timber control, you need to burn, the underbrush. And so Jackson walks ahead of him, and Andy's right behind him, blowing then the fire out. And yes, it's a controlled timber. But being a 10-year-old boy, you enjoy doing that. He'll never be an arson, because he started so many fires and helped put them out. But by Andy or Jason, who does it with them, either one could be right behind him and he'd be fine. But it was, timber control. So anyway, I'm sure the two little kids were tired when they got home. Hello, Margaret. How are you? He does. Gail, there is not a job that kid doesn't love to do. My sister eons ago, the one with all the children, once said she's never found anything her children won't help her do when she's doing it with them. And I took that to heart. And, I found that to be true with Andy. He didn't mind cleaning his room when I was in there helping him. He didn't mind, if I was cleaning so that we could go to the football game, I put all the jobs in a jar and he would draw it. And he thought that was fun. And then there were times when I would say, okay, these are the jobs that have to be done, pick yours. And there were times he'd say, Nana, Mom, I'll scrub the kitchen floor if you'll clean my bedroom. No, he didn't scrub my kitchen floor when he was 7, like I would have scrubbed my kitchen floor. But I was OCD and my kitchen floor got scrubbed every day anyway. So, it didn't really matter. Well, I didn't mind picking up his room when he was working. And it was a lot faster for me to pick up his toys than it was for him. But now, if he'd have gone and sat down and played, it'd have been a different story. And then once he was 2, he went with his daddy and started having chores. Good morning, Marty. And he had, at 2, he was working with his dad. It might be, I know this is going to bother some of you, but it might be stomping the mice when they move the pig feeder. How many mice did he get stomped on when you're 2? But he thought that was fun. It might be carrying daddy's hammer, but he had an important job regardless. And so, anyway, Andy has raised Jackson the same way. Emerson doesn't do as much with her dad as Jackson does because Jackson takes over. But she does with her mommy and she does with me. I've taught her, she can make the salads for everybody and cut the vegetables and all that because I showed her how. And her mom was making the salads and Emerson's job was to cut the cucumbers. Emerson could live on cucumbers. And her mom started to show her and she said, Mom, I know how. My Nana showed me. Everything is my Nana. She doesn't call me Nana. And when talking about me, she does to my face. So anyway, I got my Emerson and Jackson time and it just made my day. Good morning, Penny. I am so glad you all came to visit. I was showing this journal I made. It had been last summer sometime at the idea from Janet Nash. Janet, I was telling them how I saw those words from your journal. And so I added them to my ABC journal that you mentioned one time on one of your lives. And where you put the words on a page with the letter. Hi, Pickles. To make sure I don't miss anybody. And I've added pictures. I've added, some quotes to it. But it's far from done. L is listen, love, lovely, light, linger. What messes us up most in life is a picture of how it's supposed to be. All for M I have is memories. But anyway, I had this out last night, adding to it, and I thought, I'll just show you this. What is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and begin on working on being yourself. These are quotes I wrote down from another Janet Nash video. Imagine that, Janet. Peace, positive, patience, poetic. Q, I didn't have anything, so I wrote quietness. Sometimes we just want to craft in the quiet. Remember, restful, restore, relax. Yes, Janet, they do. So anyway, S is sweet, slow stitch, slow down, self-love, self-worth. Isn't that true, Pickles? So very true. Z, I put zealous because aren't we kind of zealous about our crafts? Whichever one it is that we love the most. But anyway, it has a lot that can be added to it. I can add words from my drawer over here, or I can write them in like I did last night. Oh, in the zone, Marty. I like that. I'm going to add that. In the zone with my doodle pens from Miss Margaret. Because we do get in that zone, don't we? Greg came in the other night and was just standing here. And I turned around and I looked at him and he said, "Are you thinking about supper?" Well, shoot, it was 7 o'clock. I collect pickle quotes too, Marty and Janet. Yes, Pickles, I write them down. Or when I go back through Janet's lives, I'll pause her and so I can catch it. Janet's, I have to usually watch a couple of times. The first time I watch it, I'm watching the stream, and the second time I watch it, I'm watching her. I can't get Janet all done in one fell swoop. And then another thing I did, in case you didn't catch Lori's live, Paint Girly, remember, was it Thursday? When she was doing all the edges. Hi, Carol. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Janet, isn't that true? Go write that one down. Gathering quotes from the community, like flowers from the garden. Love that. See, Marty, that's me. People who don't watch Janet don't know what they're missing. It's a 2-for-1. So, Lori was doing the edging. And so I thought that's kind of what this calendar is becoming, just sort of ideas. So I thought I would do an edging, and I slowed stitch here. I messed up. So I put this imagine, so you don't look at that. And I added the beads. I added a rusty bell. I added this little tab of buttons. And I added this little charm to it. I don't even know what the charm says. She believes she could, so she did. Handmade with love. And then these flowers. And I just kind of did that. Maybe that'll help my memory to remember these ideas. Because I have that journal I made that Dee Dee encouraged us to make as we watched. But I think I was crafting, so I didn't write those down. So anyway, that's kind of what this journal is. And since it's sceneries, I don't have to cover it. Oh, good, Kellyanne. I agree there, Pickles. I agree there. I'm supposed to go to Tanya's this afternoon and have her look at take my sewing machine. She's going to help me with the bobbin part. And I don't know that I feel safe to even drive to Pensacola. So that may not happen today. My husband's out on the boat. So Who knows when they'll get home. When I was at the thrift store the other day, I saw these popcorn bags. Aren't they fun? I'll never probably use them like this. I'll probably use them like a pocket in a journal. But aren't those a fun size? Good morning, Pom Pom. How are you, lovely? So that was something that I just purchased. And then I was watching Miss Mary RTA. And remember, if you were watching, she made the, what are these? Oh, a circus journal. That would be fun, Janet. What are these tea bags? And so I decided I was going to make a tea bag too. So I put it all together. What I did is I put 2 cards and then I covered it with this music. And on the inside, I just covered it with some fabric. We didn't get real fancy here. And then I put all those tea bags I've saved of the different sizes because I thought all those different sizes were fun. And I laid them in here. Nothing fancy, nothing. And she was painting hers. And I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with mine. But I thought that was such a good idea. And I still have these things, tea bags. Hi, Brenda. Welcome, welcome. I still have tea bags and I drink enough tea I can save some more. But this is from like a strawberry cheesecake one. Love that word, painting. So that makes it that color. And some of these I didn't get all the tea out. Oh well, shoot me, you know. And anyway, I don't know yet what I want to do. I may doodle in it. I may write quotes in it. I may paint some of them. I may gesso some of them. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet. So I'm not going to do anything with it yet. Oh, I forgot all about the recipe. Recipe for Marty. But I thought this, and this says Rome on it. And I put, this is one of my fabric tapes I made. And then this is just cheesecloth. And then, you know, X, I just put that on there because I didn't know when I'd use it. And these are just some little plastic beads I colored with not aluminum, alcohol ink. That is positive words on the, that is a neat idea. Then I could just draw one a day. I'm missing stuff. We can't have that. I was reading the chat to see what I was missing. So anyway, I made that, I think yesterday. I was in here quite a while. Just messing. I really didn't do much of anything. I did get my, if you watched Laura yesterday, you saw where she was making the penny buttons. So I got these all cut out and ready to make some when the mood suits me. And then I kept patterns. So they're in here. And then I got out all this ephemera yesterday. I have a lot of old stuff. And I want to, it's easy to collect all of this stuff here, there, and yonder. But then if you're like me, I don't do anything with it. I just collect it. And I thought, okay, it's time to be done collecting. Oh, Marty, it is. It's time to quit collecting and to do something with it. So this was the first one I did. And this is an old, I don't know what this kind of cardboard's called, but chipboard, maybe, bingo card. Hi, Whatever Crafting. Welcome, welcome. I think you may be new to my channel. What would you like to be called? Whatever Crafting? Whatever Crafting? Let us know what we may call you. This is a very welcoming place. Also, if you have a channel, one of my mods I know would be more than happy to share your channel as well. I know, Pickles. Whatever is great. Awesome, Whatever. Oh, is your name Jean? No channel. Okay. Well, you are welcome to be part of mine and everyone else that's in here. So what I did is, this is a 1959 envelope, and I had this score sheet, and then this is the other half of another one that tore. Marty, I didn't miss your send them to me. I caught that, just so you know. Well, it'll show up, but it tore in half. And then I saw this man, and it made me think of 1959, and I thought, that just kind of goes on there. This is a wax that I made, and they stuck together, so I just left them stuck. But then I sent the picture to Lori, and I said, so now what do I do with it? And she said, well, she really liked it. She said, put it on the cover, put it on a page. So I don't know what's going to happen to that one. And this is one I found in the pile I'd already made. It kind of needs something else added. And then this was just on one of those great big, thank you, Marty and Janet, for sharing all those. I appreciate that. It says, you are my sunshine on a rainy day. Are they project cards? So anyway, I made one here. This is an old applique I found at my mother-in-law's. Some dyed lace. Playing the card game Snap, Marty. It does, Brenda. It does. I understand. So I decided maybe we would make some more. Here's something that I coffee dyed paper. And I thought maybe we'd finish up this one too. I've got my people here, my Tim people. And like I said, I've got this. Let me show you this old ephemera so you know what we've got. We've got these coffee dyed envelopes, coffee dyed paper. That's another envelope. We've got these old cards. This is an old library card. It's the real deal. Another card. Oh, thank you, Marty. This is a progress chart in Spanish. Here are some index cards that are coffee dyed. Here's just an old paper that Grandma Ruth would have just stuck stamps on. They're 3 cents. So I'm assuming it'd been Grandma Ruth. No date. So I don't know when that was done. Here's some more contract score pads. Remember when Lori stamped on some of her flashcards? Here's some old 1932. Here's a letter to Grandpa Ruth. And look at that natural coloring. It was in a drawer up at the farmhouse. And look at the inside. Isn't that neat? But I love how you can see where it was closed. That was a lot of years ago, 1932. I love how it was Mr. and Mrs. A.C. Rebel, Mr. and Mrs. George Rebel, Arbela, Missouri. No other address, no zip code, and it got there. Isn't that fun? I don't know what this is, an old postcard from Germany, I guess. Here are some project cards. Isn't that what these are? I think they are. Another flashcard. 1964, first day of issue, voting day. For our democracy to flourish, it is vital that every eligible American register and vote. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1964. He probably was president then. And then, because that would have been right after Kennedy was shot, and he was his vice president. More contract. I don't even know what card game this is. We and they. First rubber, second rubber, third rubber. Anybody know what game that goes to? Oh, they do, Gail. Oh, I probably should have cut that up then, should I? Thank you. Thank you, Penny. If any of you that love old ephemera want to watch one of my short videos, it's about 5 minutes, called This Old House. I go upstairs and I show you a portion of what's up there in that house. Lots of old ephemera. You don't collect them, Gail? Well, if you had, if I'd have sent it to you. But I'll look on eBay. It might be worth $1. Then here's some old cards. Another flash card. Coffee dyed index cards. Here's a retention limit. To and from subject message. Remember those? Yeah, this old house does too. That old house really collects it, Marty. But it collects ephemera, old ephemera too, so I don't want to complain too much. Here is, and I haven't come up with a fun thing to do with this, where you write and then it carbons to the next 2 pages. You know, this works as a carbon, but it's the one that somebody keeps. This is the customer, the host, and this is the person selling it. So I have a bunch of those. No idea where they came from. Oh, here's the other half of that cover. Oops, and it is falling apart. Here are some of these colored CD things. Here are some of these stamps. Thank you, Penny. Yeah, Marty, I know. Here's an old envelope that's torn. What's this? This is an old postcard. Old postcard. I got a box of postcards under here from Grandma Ruth. And then we've got this. The only reason I'm showing you all this is so you know what we got to work with. Here's another one of these, carbon paper things. Here's some bingo cards, flashcards, trivia pursuit cards. While you were out notebooks. Bye, Gail. Be careful going to the store. There's a lot of crazy people out there. Here's another envelope to Grandpa George has the time on it. August 4th, 7 a.m. Doesn't have the date, but has the time on it. Here's a Yahtzee scoreboard, some time sheets or clock in, clock out things. And then there's this thing, which is, whoops, sorry. A telegram. Wonder what the telegram says. My time book is okay for this month. The Pittsburgh and Lake Erie Railroad Company. So this is the time clock or payment that somebody has. And how much, I guess they got paid. Here's how many hours. Oh, how many hours they worked. So you got what they did, how many hours they did it, total hours. So that's quite old and yellowed. So anyway, this is what all we have to work with. So I thought I would take one of these bingo cards and see what we can do with it. Brenda, that's funny. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. I used to be so OCD about my house, like I was saying earlier. I cleaned that house top to bottom. I'm talking ceiling fans down to scrubbing the kitchen floor on my hands and knees every day. That's when I worked all day. Excuse me. I worked all day teaching, and I had a little boy. And I just thought my house needed to be that clean. And I was that way until we moved down here. And on the way down, I was driving by myself. Andy would switch. He had just graduated, and he'd switch riding with his dad and riding with me, and then and taking turns driving with us. And I thought about changes when you move to a new state and don't really know anybody. you kind of, I'm thinking this would be fun. Have a lot of think time. I had radio and, all those things too. And so I thought about, you know, who I was and what I wanted to change in life. And excuse me, like I said, this may be a short video. And well, that fits in there, so I could use the back of that. And I found this fabric. Now, I've not coffee dyed it, but I do want to use it because it has all these fonts on it. So I think I'm just going to do that right now. I'm just going to coffee dye this right now. And then I can use it. And it can be drying while we're working. This is coffee that I just keep here in my craft room in this little jar. And I have alcohol in it. So it won't, I hope, mold. Hi, Barbara. Oh, yes. I do lots of storytelling with the grands. Lots and lots of storytelling. Now, they remember Greg's mom, which would be their great grandmother. And in fact, Jackson, after Grandma Marlene passed away, he informed me that he remembered Grandma Marlene always had a container of cookies on the counter just for him to eat. I guess nobody else was supposed to eat them. And that really was a thing that I needed to continue. And he will let me know if I'm falling down on the job, because he'd come in, and if there weren't cookies, he'd say, Nana, you're slacking. Okay, so I have this, and this is just a copy. It's not the real thing. So I'm thinking this is going to go in there, but let's decorate it before it does. I really kind of like these purple stamps. What other stamps? Someone in the family, Greg's family, was a stamp collector. And he may know, but I'm not sure who it was. Marlene kept the collection in the safe. I don't know what happened to it. His brother may have taken it and continued stamp collecting for all I know. But I got lots of the ones that weren't worth anything. And I was just wondering if this is kind of cool. That's kind of too much that color. But it wouldn't be if I put stuff behind it. I don't want yellow. Where's that blue that I just threw? Well, Marty, you coffee dye your coloring books, and then people will think they're really, really old. Oh, Barbara, I'm sorry. You didn't need that on top of everything, did you? What do I have here? Ooh, I've got some of these already cut out. Okay, so we want this all nice and flat, so we could still use that, but let's put it on top. And then let's put I love you on it. And that can go in the pocket. Oh, good. Hi, Kathy B. So glad you are here with me. This is from Stockport. Can I see a year? Came in July. Can't see any more than that. So let's just glue that on like that. You know, sometimes I'm in the mood to clean. Not very often anymore. My husband got so tired of the OCD in me on the farm and cleaning all the time. And I mean, I couldn't do anything because my house had to be cleaned. And then we got down here and I kept a clean house. Don't get me wrong. You could walk into my house and it's picked up and fairly tidy. He just ran the vacuum yesterday. I just swept the kitchen floor the day before. But now neither one of us are into that dusting. You have a blessed day too, Kel. I'm so glad you stopped in to play a while. Oh, I agree, Barbara. And up north, we're going to have a lady come and clean before we get there. So we did a trial run. And no, they don't do near like you want to. But I do have to say, up there, it is so much cheaper for somebody to clean compared to down here. Down here, it's like $100 to clean your house. And they only spend about 3 hours at the most doing it. Up there, it's like $20 to clean your house. Hi, Leah. Welcome, welcome. So glad you came. We were waiting just for you. I'm kind of thinking it's not me unless it's got cheesecloth on it. You know, it's funny how small towns have such a cheaper cost of living. Oh, Barbara, I wouldn't have been anymore. I used to. I wouldn't have let somebody come without washing all my windows first. Not anymore. I have come to the point, are you coming to see me or are you coming to see a clean house? If you're coming to see me, that's fine. I'll make sure there are chairs you can sit in. If you are coming to see my house, let me know that and I'll make sure that it's clean. Okay, so we've got this. So we've kind of got this theme of time. And this is upside down, but that's okay. And then we're going to stick this in here so you can open it. And I'll put a wax seal on that. A butterfly travel. So we'll do that. And Oh, Barbara. Well, yeah, then you probably did need to clean a chair for her. But that's all she got was one chair. No musical chairs for her. Oh, I have this lovely lady. Okay, any input is welcome. Marty, you put things so well. Well, Barbara, you missed, I'm sorry, but you missed a lovely visit. Clean out a chair for her and let her come. Well, I do have to say that if somebody called saying they were coming, I would have to. I don't worry about my craft room cleaning because it's supposed to be messy. I think that's a rule. But I would have to do a little bit of tidying. I'm getting bad. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting bad about my dryer. I used to always be one of those crazy people who, as soon as it beeped, I'd have my wash machine and dryer emptied, clothes put straight away. Now I wash them one day and put them in the dryer, and then I really like that cycle that refluffs them like they just got out of the dryer, and I can do that for a couple of times. And then I get them on the wash machine. Like last night, it got fluffed twice. The clean clothes are now on the wash machine. Now I'll get them to the wash machine sometime today because I've got another load to do. And so these will go on the bed. And then before bedtime, I'll get them put away. I never used to be that way. Okay, Barbara. I don't know what it is. I've never been that way with laundry. I think some of it started when I didn't have the energy to do it all at the same time. And so I had to do it in shifts, but that's not the case now. Excuse me. I am so sorry. Okay, what do you think of that? I've got the red lipstick to kind of go with the board. I've got the blue to go with her dress. The red jewelry goes here. Maybe I don't want the blue. Well, the blue dress. Maybe it's this green I don't need. Leah, that's me. Our dishes are done immediately after the meal, washed or in the dishwasher. My floors are picked up and my blankets are folded. Greg and I both are ones at night that like to sit with the blanket on us. I think I'm going to leave that. I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I like it. But maybe what it needs is a word in English. There you go. Your bed's always made. Mine sometimes is. But it can be made very quickly. I kind of like hope for this little chickadee. What you think? No, that's true, Jenna. But my kitchen's clean. Now, my kitchen table may have something on it that we're debating or needs to go to the mailbox or something like that. But it's always got a placemat and folded cloth napkins. So I'm getting out some bling. I didn't want colored bling. Oh, yes, Brenda. And my clothes are folded on the wash machine. They're all folded there because that's where I take them out of the dryer and fold them. Okay, so I'm going to That's right, Kathy. Time to bring out this bling. How are you, Kathy? Always need a little bling. Oh, I was going to put this there. Oh, that changes things. Because I was going to put the seal here on the envelope. So let's do that. Oh, yes, Barbara. Brenda, I mean, I cannot stand dirty towels up. My husband used to say that I wore out our towels washing them. And in the kitchen, I want clean towels. Every day I change those things. I cannot stand dirty towels in a washcloth. I just feel like I'm sharing bacteria or something. I agree, Pickles. But I don't like the cooking process anymore. Too many years of farm cooking. And so I don't want to have to clean the kitchen table off. I've always been kind of picky about that. I'm one of those crazy people that wanted my house to always look like a magazine. Not now. I said that all in the past tense. And Andy remembers that because now with the grandkids, if they're in the mid, like if Emerson has her Barbies all out, and she spent the day working on her Barbies little house and all the little deal, or she's been playing kitchen when somebody comes to pick her up, and they'll say, okay, let's pick up, and he just and she'll look at him like, I just got this ready to play with. I'll tell her, leave it, and then tomorrow you're ready to play. And Andy will say, you never would have let me do that. And I said, I did in the loft, because he would get out all of his G.I. Joe or his farm things. And then in the loft, I let him keep all that up. But I mean, otherwise he wouldn't have played with it. But yeah. Leah, we are, now that we are retired, my husband's 67 and I'm 62. We are snowbirds. 15 years ago, we moved down here 16 years ago to Florida for an adventure. We came down with no jobs, no house. My brother had found a rental for us. And the only people we knew was my brother and his family. And we I had the word hope. Where did it go? And now we spend split time in Missouri on the farm where my husband had farmed, grew up on the farm. And we spend split time there and down here in Florida. So we will be going, we're not sure exactly when we'll head north. We had planned on heading north the 1st of July, but Emerson is really having trouble with Nana being gone so long. And that they are getting tears at night, and I just need my Nana. Nana needs to come see me, those kind of things. And so we are thinking when all of our doctor's appointments are done down here, that we may head back north in April or May. There's hopes. Back to the farm. It's in northeastern corner of Missouri. And it is the house that my husband was raised in. There, you should be able to hear me now. Beth, good morning. Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you, Janet. So yes, we are thinking of heading back early. And then the kids are wanting to come down in June for some beach time, and they probably will just come without us. and stay here at the house, which I will say when they leave, it will look better than when I left, because Nikki will make sure that it is tidy and cleaned, and Andy will make sure that it is that way too. I had a phone call from the oncologist, and that's what knocked me off. He should know that I was streaming. So this is something that I have now created with my ephemera, but it still seems like it needs a ruffle or something else. I don't know. It looks too bare. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know. I don't like this color, but I'm trying to decide if I like the ruffle. I know, Janet. Oh, Beth, I'm sorry you tripped. I hope you're okay. I like the ruffle. I just don't know where. I guess so. I'm sure they wouldn't have called a Hollywood actress while she was streaming. Oh, but she'd have had somebody answer the phone. Oh, you didn't trip. Okay, good, Beth. Don't like the yellow. Maybe I need lace. Ooh. All right. What do you think of the light blue? That's much better than that heavier ruffle or pleated fabric, whatever you want to call it. Now I want to move this hopes, but I don't know if I can't. We're going to do something like that. All right, you go do those routines, Beth. Sometimes I think my stuff all starts looking the same. This would be easier if I'd remember to plug in the glue gun. All right, now Let's put a flower. I bet this lady likes her flowers. I don't want purple. Ooh, what about 3 black flowers? Okay, Marty, you go get your stuff taken care of. No more tripping, people. Ooh, it would be chilly here. Be real chilly here. We're having a cold spell, but it's to be up to 80 by the weekend, so, or middle of the week. Okay, now, do I want these? Oops. I kind of like those 3 black flowers there. With her black hair and all. Now, I need something. Maybe I don't need something. Maybe I just think I need something. Any suggestions are more than welcome. I've got that. And then I have the postcard. And then this flaps over. I have hopes. I have these flowers. And I have this flower. What else might I need? Definitely not another flower, but maybe a little charm. Enough. There we go. I like that. Enough. And now for a bullpen. Y'all, it's going to take me forever to clean up this table if I decide to. Oh, Brenda. I think we're like at 40. Well, we're probably up to 60, but for us, that's cold. I need to be more like Janet and get those walks in no matter the weather. I guess I need a dog that has to go walk. You too, Penny. Thank you so much for coming. Have a lovely day. That flower's just not going to stay with that art glitter glue. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Hour and a half lately has been about as long as I can go. I wear out. I want to start another load of clothes and what's your husband and son say to that, Carol? I won't be home tonight. Greg's decided we need to go out for supper. Shucky darn. I don't have to fix supper. Though lately he and I have been doing it together. And that's fun. We have somebody to blame when something's not right because we can blame the other person. While this is drying, I'm going to kind of tidy up. We have been trying that Hello Fresh. That's not the company, but it's that type of thing where they send you the stuff because it's given us a bigger variety of food. We're really in a rut right now of what we fix. So it's been giving us some new recipes to try, and we cook it like they say. And like last night we had sour cream and dill. Crema is what they called it. And to put on the broccoli. I wouldn't have thought to put that on broccoli. And it was really good. And it was, I think he did a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of dill. Of sour cream. And then they sent the packet of dill, and it was probably a tablespoon of dill in there. And it was good on the broccoli. And then it was crumbled up pretzels and cheese. And you mix that with some mayo. No, you put mayo over the chicken. Then you crumbled up the pretzels and the cheese. And then you put the cheese into the breadcrumb type thing, only it was pretzels. And you put that in the skillet with some olive oil. And then when you put it on, your plate to eat, you put some honey on top, and that was good. Oh, Brenda, they pulled you over. Well, Happy Maker needs to go with you when you walk your dog. Oh, no. Yeah, Greg doesn't want a dog we have to do anything with either. So anyway, those are just a couple of they're very easy recipes, but there's something different. But Greg's been hungry for wings, and so tonight we're going to go for wings, I guess. I've been hungry for some fresh seafood. So that's an option too. For somebody that lives right here on the Gulf, you would think we'd get tired of seafood, but I never am tired of seafood. Yes, and he's not a big fan of the of pretzels. So I think he would like the Ritz cracker better. I have done the breadcrumbs, or egg and flour and that kind of mixture. Oh, I do too, Carol. I do too. I decided we can visit while I tidy up a bit. I don't put my ephemera back very neatly, just so you know. This is just how I do it. If I do it neatly, then I never get back in it. I have learned that about myself. That was our generator. No fear. Greg has it on a timer, so it comes on often. Excuse me. And that way, if there's a hurricane, we know it will work whether we are here or not. I think slow stitching may be on my plate tonight. I wanted to finish this, didn't I? I have those buttons I want to make, and I need to make a needle book to go with it. And I've got everything cut out to work on. So I can get that all together. So I may do that tonight, or I may not do that tonight. But I've got these things done, these 3 done, and that to finish. So I don't know what I want to do on this though. Oh, I bet, Brenda. Brenda, do you by chance have a clothesline? When the kids have a puppy and it doesn't know, excuse me again, and they're wanting it outside, but they want to make sure it knows where home is, they'll put him on a leash on the clothesline so he can still run and play in the yard, but he can't leave the yard. Now they have a huge clothesline cemented into the ground, so it's not like he can knock it, take it with him and go somewhere. So I don't know if that's your case or not, but I wonder if that would help with you. Oh, okay. We don't all have well trained like Freddie. Freddie's a really well trained dog. Um, Now, Andy did when he was little, but mainly because that was his 4-H one of his 4-H projects was dog training, and he had wonderful teachers. I don't know who teaches it now, but they met every Monday, and he was 12 years old when he got the dog, which was a very good age to get him. The kids remember Max, but he really was, Andy even could trained him so he would sit on the porch, and Andy could take the 4-wheeler and go do his chores or whatever he needed to. And Max sat on the porch till I told him he could get up. Well, once Andy got out of view, he wouldn't follow him. And sometimes he got to follow him. But when, sometimes there are jobs on the farm you don't need a dog to help you with. And he would then just stay there around the house, and I wouldn't even have to be outside for him to stay. And he'd have probably sat on that porch until Andy came home if I didn't tell him he could get up. But I would say, get up, or Max, you can go. I don't remember exactly what the phrase was that I had to use. And Andy had a hand signal. Oh, that's wonderful then, Brenda. Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day. I got a little bit done. It's been about an hour and a half. I appreciate you all stopping in and supporting my channel, and the thumbs up and the subscribes and all of those things. I really do appreciate it. And now my desk is nice and tidy because I tidied it up while I sat here and talked. So from me to you, have a wonderful day. And as always, remember, you have a purpose. Thank you, Leah. Bye-bye. Brenda, be careful. Thank you, Janet. Good idea, Pam, and that sounds nice. Oh, Pam, you need a fenced-in yard. Bye, Carol.